Welcome back. We now reflect on the immense contributions Dr. Hage Geingob made, including his unwavering dedication to the Republic of Namibia, as we are reminded of his visionary leadership and profound impact on our nation's journey towards progress and unity. Under his guidance, Namibia witnessed significant strides in education, healthcare, infrastructure, and economic growth, empowering countless Namibians and elevating our nation to the global stage. We now engage telephonically the Minister of Presidential Affairs in the Presidency, Madam Christine Hoebes. Good morning, Madam Minister, and welcome to Good Morning Namibia.
Good morning, Denver, and thank you for having me.
Almost impossible to believe that on Sunday it will already be 6 months since that devastating Sunday, the 4th of February 2024. How have these 6 months been for you and your colleagues at the Presidency?
Yes, Denver, in 2 days' time, that His Excellency, the late Hage Geingob, has left us. It has been 6 months of deep reflection. It has been 6 months of tracing his steps back into our lives, as well as in the corridors of State House. It has been 6 months of really picking up where he has left off. And we are getting there. 6 months down the line, we are no longer where we were. Tracing back from the 4th of February, we are facing the 4th of August now, and we have made considerable steps, both emotionally as well as administratively.
To say, Madam Minister, that he would have been really proud of the team and of us as a country. And we, of course, will also be thinking of him, particularly tomorrow, as he would have celebrated his 83rd birthday. Now, I remember your heartfelt and deeply special and profound tribute at Casa Rosalia about who this man was, seeing that you worked alongside him so closely. But could you just walk us through your take on who Hage Geingob was, please?
Yeah, Denver, I still stand by what I said at Casa Rosalia, that Hage Geingob was an enigma. He was a man in his own, that raised his, or that ran his own race. You know, he is a unique individual. And it was such an honor for especially me to serve such greatness, because Hage Geingob was a great man. He was a disciplinarian, but he was also a mentor. He was a teacher. He was a top diplomat. He was a prolific administrator, but he was also a human being. He had his human side, which a lot of people did not know about. And that is what we are celebrating tomorrow as we are looking back at his life, to who this person was, and as we are reflecting deeply about the person of Hage Geingob.
Reflecting on those descriptors relating to the enigma that he was, the unique individual, that he was both a disciplinarian but also a mentor, but that he was ultimately also a human being, which are the key leadership qualities of the late president that stood out for you and that you'd say defined his presidency?
You know, the key leadership qualities that stood out as of President Geingob is his consistency in what he was doing and what he was saying. You know, when he speaks of systems, processes, and institutions, he meant it. And these are the systems, processes, and institutions that he, as the first prime minister, has helped establish in this country. And those are the systems, processes, and institutions that came alive, especially during the time of his passing. If we look at the smooth transition that we have experienced on the 4th of February, that speaks of the mantra that the president, the late president, has been preaching and that he stood for, the principles that he stood for. And you know, for him, It was about Namibia. It was about the people of Namibia. It was about things working for the people of Namibia. Services being delivered to the people of Namibia, and that was his heartbeat.
Now, I remember during the time of mourning between Sunday 4 February and Sunday 25 February, one of the attributes that was also highlighted continuously, that he also had a great sense of humor. Is there perhaps an anecdote that you'd like to share with us this morning to demonstrate this decorated and colorful and funny at times, but deeply committed statesman?
Yeah, Hage G Geingob had a unique sense of humor. He would sit in a very serious meeting, and all of a sudden, the meeting is laced with humor. But this humor is also calculated, and it also tells a message. It's not the kind of humor that makes off something as a joke, but he would bring in a very serious discussion, a sense of humor, and the humor in itself is also, although it is something that invokes laughter, it also brings deep reflection as to what did he mean through this. Now, Hage G Geingob, that was now Hage G Geingob as a statesman, where he brings the sense of humor into a very serious issue. But then Hage G Geingob, as the man, would also, he loved laughter. He loved jokes. He had a very beautiful sense of humor. He would actually embrace you. He would bring in warmth in a situation, into an environment. A whole room would light up when Hage G Geingob steps into it. He would say something, and everybody would fall. Through laughing, through laughter, and he had this roaring kind of laughter, and then he would diffuse a situation. That was a kind of the person that Hage Geingob was.
Thank you for sharing
that. He would use a sense of humor both in light moments and also in serious moments, just to bring a message across.
Absolutely, and many of us were fortunate enough to witness some of those serious but also lighter moments. Now, as we continue to reflect on his immense contributions and his unwavering dedication to this republic, what do you consider as his most enduring legacy?
Hage G Geingob was a people's person. That is why he had achieved so much, because he was deeply connected with people. At his passing, from the 4th of February to the 25th of February, we heard so much about what Hage Geingob meant to so many people across different cultures and across different divides, across the world. One person connecting with so many people, with so many cultures, in different countries, in different continents, and everybody was saying the same thing about this person. So Hage Geingob was consistent in whatever he said and whatever he did. And that consistency stood out during the time of his passing. It became so real that you would say, so this is the kind of person that Hage Geingob was. He was a connector. He connected with people, and he was a people's person. And that is why he could achieve so much in such a period of time, through relating to what people are going through relating to the aspirations of the people of Namibia, and not only the people of Namibia, but the people of the world. So Hage Geingob, the connector.
Madam Minister,
the people's person.
Indeed, indeed. Any final thoughts this morning before we say goodbye to you?
Yeah, There is going to be what we call a remembrance service tomorrow in honor of the late Hage G. Geingob. This remembrance service is going to be held at Heroes Eka. This is actually the weekend that has been designed because it is uniquely positioned. This weekend is uniquely positioned in the sense that the third, tomorrow, is the birthday, the 83rd birthday of the late president. And Sunday, the 4th, is actually the 6 months after the passing of His Excellency. So this is a uniquely positioned weekend for the remembrance service to take place because it coincides with these two very distinct, significant dates. So His Excellency, President Bumba, has then called for this remembrance service to ensure that the late president's memory is alive in the hearts and minds of the Namibian people, and that his legacy continues to inspire and guide future generations. It will be a very short program where friends and family, colleagues and comrades will come together to commemorate his legacy and show gratitude for his selfless service to Namibia. This will also be a time that allows for the sharing of memories, this laughter and the stories that so many people still want to tell about the person of Hage Geingob. And this will then be done by highlighting his leadership qualities, by highlighting the values he stood for, by highlighting the principles he believed in. That is in a nutshell the essence of the remembrance service that will be held at Heroes Eka tomorrow.
Madam Minister, K. Eos, for your time. Thank you for walking us through your take of the legacy of the People's President, and thank you for continuing that legacy and doing so beautifully.
Thank you very much, Denver, and Geingob. Thank you.
Thank you. That was Minister Christine Hoebes, the Minister responsible for Presidential Affairs in the Presidency, walking us through the legacy of the late Dr. Hage G. Geingob.